The State Department recently released its updated list of countries where religious freedom is being curtailed, and the faithful are being targeted. And a few of those nations left off the list of countries of particular concern are raising some eyebrows. Both Nigeria and India failed to make the list despite continued violence and persecution against Christians and other religious groups. In fact, reports say that during the Christmas season, more than 200 Christians were killed in Nigeria alone. And joining us now is Frederick Davie, Vice Chair for the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom. Sir, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it. Before we talk about Nigeria and India, I want to get your overall thoughts on this year's State Department list.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And let me just say straight out, we have a great deal of respect for our colleagues at the State Department and the work that they do. Overall, I think 12 of the recommendations for countries of particular concern that USCIRF recommended, the State Department has also accepted those recommendations, but on some key ones, such as India and Nigeria, they did not. And that gives us great concern, particularly when it comes to Nigeria, with, as you said at the top of this piece, with over 200 people killed in Nigeria in and around Christmas, including a minister and his entire family in Plateau State, plus the many other religious killings and the religious violence that has gone on in Nigeria over the years. And we believe that the State Department made a huge mistake in it this year, as it did last year, by not designating Nigeria a country of particular concern. Of course, we have the same concern about India or others, but Nigeria is of particular interest and particular concern for us because it plays such a large role on the continent of Africa. It is a country that's, pretty evenly divided, Christian-Muslim. I think about 43% Christian, with the balance being Islam and a few others. And we just believe that by designating Nigeria a country of particular concern, the United States puts itself in a position to work more closely with the government of Nigeria to address some of those fundamental security issues that are going unattended to. In fact, there are some who are saying that the government, if it's not actively participating in some of this religious persecution, is actually standing by and not doing what it can to prevent it. The United States could play a much greater role in engaging the government in addressing some of these country security concerns that result in this religious violence against Christians and others.
Yeah, Frederick, let me jump in here real quick and ask you this. I mean, why do you think they were left off the list this year, Nigeria, considering all these atrocities?
Well, I think, that's really a question for the State Department. I assume there's some geopolitical concerns there. And, USCIRF, as a government agency itself, wants to appreciate that. But I think there's enough documentation, even and especially by the State Department, that Nigeria has allowed or engaged itself in egregious, systematic, and ongoing violations of religious freedom, and thus should be on this list. I think there's probably disagreement within the State Department itself on the State Department's decision. I think the U.S. government, as I said, needs to engage more intently here, and designating Nigeria a country of particular concern would have been the way to do that.
One country that was put on the list of particular concern was Nicaragua, where they're persecuting Catholics there. I want to talk to you about that. What do you think this designation means, and could it help out the faithful there in Nicaragua?
Well, we certainly hope so. So it means that Nicaragua has been put on notice formally that the United States will not tolerate, in its engagement with Nicaragua, the continued persecution of religious people there, in this case, particularly Catholics and the Catholic leadership. The fact that Bishop Alvarez has been sentenced to 26 years in prison is outrageous. And USCIRF has called on the U.S. government to engage with Nicaragua to get Bishop Alvarez released immediately. It also means that the U.S. government can do targeted sanctions, as it has, against Nicaraguan officials and others, and should continue to do that. and then engage not only with the Catholic Church, but other faith groups and community-based groups within the country of Nicaragua itself to try to address this issue of ongoing persecution of Catholics in Nicaragua. So the country of particular concern, or CPC designation, allows the U.S. government to have greater engagement with these countries around violations of freedom of religion or belief. And we're really pleased with this CPC designation for Nicaragua. We just wish the same had been done for Nigeria, India, and several other countries.
Frederick Davie, thank you so much for your time and for your insights today. We appreciate it, sir.
Thank you for having me on, and thank you for your interest.